Hey guys, I just got the market report for 2021 from my brokerage. They put together the stats and gave us a good picture of what 2021 looked like. And if you haven't been paying attention to the real estate market in this past year, your mind might be blown. We thought 2020 was a crazy beast, but 2021 blew it right out of the water. It exploded the 2020 numbers. The only months that we really saw a little bit of a lull in the market were July and August. Remember talking about how people were going on vacations, COVID had eased a little bit, and people just were stopping looking at real estate for just a little bit. Every other month, the supply was not enough to keep up with the demand out there. We had an historic level of demand, lots and lots of buyers, and just not enough houses for them in the Niagara region. That led to some pretty crazy price escalation. Most cities in Niagara set an all-time record high for price increases. What's been happening in 2021, similarly to 2020, is that heavy buyer demand that's just not been met by the supply out there in Niagara to feed it. So what I'm going to do is just give you a quick rundown of looking at 2020 versus 2021 in each of the cities in Niagara. So listen up for your own city. In the Niagara region, on the whole, we had a price increase of 28% from 2020 to 2021. So what did that look like? In terms of prices, the average sale price for homes, and this is all residential homes in the Niagara region, was $556,000 in 2020, and that went up to $709,000 in 2021. Now we've got more or less staggering price increases that you'll see in the cities within the Niagara region as well. Starting with St. Catharines, average residential home sale price in 2020 was $496,000. That rose by 29% to $642,000 in 2021. In Niagara-on-the-Lake, we had $964,000 as an average home sale price in 2020, and that went up to $1.141. Yes, that's over $1 million in 2021. Now in Niagara-on-the-Lake, along with a couple of other regions in our area, for instance, Font Hill, you know that the geography varies quite widely. So there's quite different kinds of homes. For example, homes that are rural out in a lot of acreage versus homes that are on the waterfront. Waterfront is also something to keep in mind with the Port Colborne prices, because that can vary quite a bit, where you've got waterfront homes selling for over $1 million, but that's quite distinct from the ones that are selling in town. So keep that in mind. All of these stats are with a grain of salt. There's a lot more detail to them. Hit me up for the specific details of your own area. Next up, Niagara Falls. In 2020, the average home sale price was $516,000. That rose by 29% to $665,000 in 2021. Thorold was $503,000 in 2020, and that rose up by 30% to $653,000 in 2021. In Welland in 2020, we had $454,000 as an average home sale price, and that rose up by 31% to $590,000 in 2021. In Font Hill in 2020, we had $754,000 as our average home sale price, and that rose by 22% to $921,000 in 2021. Port Colborne, around $507,000 as an average home sale price in 2020, rose by 28% to $648,000 in 2021. Moving on out to Fort Erie, we had $508,000 in 2020 as an average home sale price, moving up by 31% to $688,000 in 2021. With Fort Erie, as well as a couple other places in Niagara, we also have new home builds that skew the stats here. So not all new home building developments are included in Realtor.ca, so they're not included in our stats, and they can also skew the home sale prices around some of these areas. So keep that in mind. Lincoln went from $654,000 in 2020 up by 28% to an average home sale price of $839,000 in 2021. And finally, Grimsby, starting off at $674,000 in 2020, moving up by 28% to an average home sale price of $866,000 in 2021. So while our minds were blown by 2020, 2021 was itself a banner year, breaking records. So what should we look for in 2022 to see if things are going to change here? One of the things is those interest rate hikes. Will they have an effect on that buyer demand? Will buyers start to slow down when interest rates have gone up? And also, will inventory levels start to pick up? Will we get more on market for buyers to choose from? That's what we've been waiting for to help out with this kind of buyer demand. Unless new listing inventory picks up that pace to meet the demand, or demand slows down quite a lot, we'll continue to see a competitive market with those multiple offers and further price growth going forward into 2022. So keep your eye out for those kinds of changes. If you want those details of that 2021 market report for your own neighborhood, let me know. I'll send it over to you. Also, hit up NaomiKnightRealEstate.com if you have further questions. I'm happy to get into the weeds with you on this one.